Ladies and gentlemen, my darling's distractions.
Life finds a way.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my darling's distractions. My name is Luke, and I'm joined, as always, by my lovely wife, Deb.
Hi, Luke.
Hi, Deb. Thanks for joining me tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad I could. I'm glad we could sit down and talk.
Yeah, this one has been a little while coming because you had put out a kind of call to all the distractors out there and some people who, honestly, I don't think have ever listened to the show.
Nope, didn't interest them at all.
No. Well, but you did put out a call to a lot of people who maybe have never listened to the show.
So the call consisted of, why don't you share with us what you're doing during this time of the pandemic? Like, how is your life different now than it was before? I guess I just find a lot of value in, like, remembering this and, like, adding your voice to others and, like, putting something out there for remembrance sake.
Right.
So I thought, hey, if you listen, why don't you go ahead and just tell us what you've been up to? And the question was simply, what are you doing now that you weren't doing before? And I also just thought, hey, what if there were people that called in and said something, told us about themselves who had never even listened to the podcast? I just think it would be fun to hear from as many people as possible, and kind of hoping that the whole idea of if you build it, they will come would kind of come to fruition.
If you build it, he will come. Okay, you must have heard that.
Sorry!
Yes. So we have a lot of voicemails to get to tonight. So,
fun.
Yeah, so we are going to jump into them. So this is a bit of our My Darling's Distractions time capsule of what was life like during the quarantine of 2020.
Yeah.
And
And I feel like if we do this, then we would be okay to, like, we don't have to mention it again. You know what I mean?
Oh, really? So like this, like everybody, you're hearing it here first. This seals off. This is the end.
mean, like, we probably don't have to do another podcast about it.
Oh, okay.
This is what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, you have really felt the drive to do some documenting of this process.
I have.
That's probably your personality. I think that's your personality, is to see something like a hardship and note it and talk about it.
Yeah.
Or I think my personality is to glaze right over it and maybe even distract from it.
Yeah, I think so. So I think this will satiate my desire to kind of note it.
And dwell on it for a little bit.
Yeah, remember it.
Remember it. Yep, that's good. That's healthy.
If you build it, they will come, hopefully.
If you build it, he will come.
Yes. So we are going to jump right into voicemails. Again, thank you so much for sending in voicemails. If you didn't get a chance to send in a voicemail to this podcast episode, but you've still got a lot you'd like to say, or even a little you'd like to say, you can always reach out to our voicemail by calling 61 Air 0 Volt on your touchpad device. Do they call those? Is that the right word?
On your phone.
On your phone. I feel like during game shows they would say something specific, like on your touch key device.
Keypad,
But you can just call us and leave us a voicemail. It's really easy to do, and we love listening to them. So
or you could email us at mydarlingsdistractions@gmail.com.
That's right. I think that still works. I haven't checked that recently, but I'm positive it does.
What if there's an email out there just waiting for us to check it?
It shows up to my phone.
Okay. No, there's nothing.
So
there's nothing.
no.
Oh, and we should also mention that if you would like to listen to this episode or any of our other past episodes, you can find them on mydarlingsdistractions.net.
Absolutely. Okay, let's jump into our first voicemail.
Do 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 do. They can't save you. Do 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 do. They can't save you.
Did you follow that at all?
Yes, it's a reference to our last episode.
It is, yes.
So it doesn't really have much to do with our COVID moment that we're going for here.
No, but
who was that? Was that Deborah?
No, that was
Holly?
Liz.
Liz?
Yeah. Yes, that was sister of the show, Liz. calling
Thanks,
in
Liz.
with her rendition of what I think she took. You one of your lines. You literally said like,
Yes.
"Can't save you," as in like,
Yeah,
like an MC Hammer crossed
We were
with
going
Christian
for like
kids.
90s theme and Can't Touch This got mentioned.
Yep.
And I said, Can't Save You.
Yes. So thank you, Liz, for that musical rendition.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for picking up what I was laying down.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, we are on to our second voicemail. That one is kind of a quick one.
Okay, now we're ready.
All right, now we're ready. Voicemail number 2.
Deb and Luke, hi. This is your friend Stace. My quarantine life is going fairly well. I do have like a few things that we are doing differently now. Number one, I feel like we have never been more abreast of our toilet paper situation than ever before. Like there were many times in the Regeneter family where we would substitute torn napkins as toilet paper, and we would have like one roll circulating the 3 bathrooms. And now we're very conscientious.
Wow.
And so I feel like this is done as a service. The other thing, Deb, that I think you would be super impressed by is that we went on a family bike ride, and I went to Walmart and bought a bike helmet.
A bike helmet.
That was overcoming a big fear of mine because I was traumatized as a freshman in high school by trying to pop a wheelie up a curb and falling in front of my whole town. So anyway, I'm kind of overcoming some battles here, some inner scars. So that's been good and positive. I would say the dumbest thing I have done during the quarantine is that, like, early quarantine, we're talking like March 14th, I went to Walmart and I was very like, oh, I better watch it. I should have brought gloves, but I didn't. So I was trying to push my cart with like my forearms. That was just not going well. The cart was willy-nilly all over the place. So then I went ahead and I was like, okay, just touch the cart with your hands is fine. Just make sure you don't touch your face. So I was super good all through checkout line. Deb, I get to the plastic sack to put my thing, my products in. And what do I do? But I lick my finger.
Oh, no.
Deb. And I can't even believe I did it. So all this time. So what do you do after you lick your finger? There's no getting the germs out. So anyway, I'm fine. I'm safe. It's okay, but definitely not a good germophobic reaction. I'm just not germophobic, so I don't think of those things. So that's where we're at here. I did think of a trivia question for you and Luke.
Oh, nice.
And I honestly feel like you're not going to get it right because I don't know if I would get it right. I'm going to have to Google it to make sure that I'm right. But
Great.
the trivia question is, what season of Survivor was going on when George and Stacy first met? Because I don't know if you remember, but George and Stacy met at a Survivor party. So what season of Survivor was it? I know you can do this, Deb. Okay, bye.
That is a good one.
That's a tough question.
Okay, I have to acknowledge the licking of the finger at Walmart.
Yes.
I mean, that makes
you've
me...
you've never been a like...
I am not a finger licker.
No.
Like, I do not do that
Nope.
in fact, you've done that before, Luke, and I'm like...
To turn a page or something?
No, to wet your fingers before like you get like a fruit bag or a vegetable bag.
Sure. Yeah.
Or maybe I've seen other people do that. And I'm like, oh, that's a handy tip. So I've done that once. But no, I am not a finger licker. I will sit there and mess with it for a minute or more, like before I think to help myself by licking my finger. But Stacey, I think that is hilarious. But who else has been in that situation at Walmart where you're trying to you're like, should I touch the railing while I'm pushing the cart? Like, I've taken the wipes and I've wiped all the way around the cart, the whole perimeter of the cart. Now they don't even have wipes anymore.
Right. I suppose it's hard to keep a hold of.
Somebody is totally doing it for you.
Oh, okay.
Like wiping it down with a rag and a bottle of bleach, probably. I don't know. So I asked the guy on the way in the other day. I was like, "Did you wipe this down?" And
And
said,
he's like,
"In a
"Yeah."
nice way."
He's like, "Yes, ma'am."
But no, he was very friendly. He said,
okay.
"Yep,
Nice.
absolutely, it's been wiped down." But I can't can't believe you go through the whole shopping trip so conscientious, and then you lick your finger at the end. That is great.
You might as well have just licked a stranger's face, as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly. I think I would have had a nervous breakdown at that
yeah.
point. I also just need to acknowledge that she went on a bike ride. I just think it's really funny that I can remember the moment in college when I realized that both of my roommates didn't ride bikes. Like they did not know how, or the last
Just
time they
chose
did
not
was
to.
a traumatic experience, and so they choose to not ride bikes. And I think I just could not believe it that I had both my roommates like didn't know how to ride a bike properly. So I'm really proud of you, Stacy. What do you think about that trivia question?
Well, so I could give it a total guess.
Yeah.
I could maybe help you narrow down the year.
I know. Well,
Would that help anything?
no.
What year did Survivor premiere?
Well, it's been. I think they're on their 40th season right now, so it's been 20 years.
Right, because it's 2 seasons every year. So
20 years ago, 2000.
right, so the year 2000.
Is when it started.
And so what year did Stacy and George meet?
Maybe
2003 is my guess. So think about it. Season 1. What's season 1? Did they have a name for it, or was it just Survivor?
Yeah, just Survivor. I don't know.
Season 2.
I wouldn't be able to. Is Australia?
Season
I know that.
3.
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought. Is it Africa? Is
Maybe
it-
Africa. Yeah, with Kimmy and they drank cow's blood. Like they drank blood.
Yeah. Okay. What about season 4? Because all we need to do is get through a couple more of these.
No, I don't know.
Okay. Well, make a small leap in your brain. and
Well,
make
the
a
only
guess.
the only thing I have to go off of is maybe it was the season with Gandia, because because Gandia had a swimsuit and we were laughing because Stacy's looked just like Gandia's swimsuit. Like we called it her Gandia swimsuit, and so like I know we watched that season together,
Okay.
and so I'm gonna guess that season.
Do you have any guess on where they were that season?
No guess at where they were, but I'm gonna go ahead and guess that it was like season 6.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess season 6.
Season 6 and wherever they were, whatever it was called. All right, Stacy, you were responsible for texting, calling, Marco Poloing Deb to give her results.
You
She
gotta
got
let
that
me know,
correct or
and you
incorrect.
could Snapchat also.
Oh, sure. Yes, you
Just give
choose.
you all of the options.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much, Stacy,
Thank you,
for the call.
Stacy.
Glad to hear you are safe despite your lapse in judgment.
Oh, that is great.
Okay. All right, next voicemail.
Okay.
Hey guys, don't know how well this sounds. I'm out on a run right now, still full of energy, happiness. The sun's out, beautiful. This is Riles Mausch from Asphalt South Sea, giving you guys a call. I hope I'm the first one. Okay, you don't tell me if I'm not. Okay, because I want to be the first one to do this on your show, to leave this voicemail. But I want to be the first one to proudly say on my Darling's Distractions, the quarantine is over! Over. Quarantine is over. It's lifted. There's no more quarantine. Quarantine is over. Quarantine.
Over?
Okay. So I will say, only because I see these voicemails come through, it gives me a transcript of what it thinks they look like.
I'll be
And
interested to hear what that one
yeah,
said.
so that one struggled. I'm not gonna lie, that one struggled a little bit. With that one, I will read what the transcript said,
Oh,
because
yes,
it was
please.
full of energy. It says, "Hey guys, don't know how well this sounds. I'm out on a run right now." So
Okay,
pretty
yeah,
good.
got that.
So full of energy and happiness, comes out beautiful. This is Dead Mouse
Oh.
from Asphalt Southeast. Give you guys a call the car, I hold the first one. You don't tell me if I'm not okay. Cause anyway, I think he says that the quarantine is over.
I think he said I wanted to be the first one to say the quarantine is over. Is that right?
Yes. Can I warn you that we got another voicemail immediately after that?
Okay.
So it might be good to listen to that one to help put this first one in context.
Let's do.
This is another. This is the next voicemail that came in.
Okay.
Hey, guys. It's Miles, again, from Sioux F, South D. Giving you guys a call back. So I went online, kind of looking for some sort of headline, and this is an apology voicemail. I'm so sorry. I hope you didn't air this already, but the quarantine is not over. In fact, things it's just kind of seem maybe getting worse. So I hope I caught you guys before this went out. So fans that are out there celebrating and possibly getting infected. I didn't think of that till just now. Oh my goodness. But so anyway, I hope you guys get this again. So sorry. So I must have misread. I think I have an Ovaltine timer. I think it said Ovaltine is over.
Oh.
Or I think it was. I should really retitle that alarm.
Yeah.
Why do you even get an alarm for Ovaltine? It doesn't cook or anything.
Yeah.
My life's a mess, you guys. I'm so sorry. Love the show.
All right. Well,
I get it.
yeah, we appreciate the clarifying.
Yeah.
And I will just warn you, if you did, in just those few seconds of jubilation coming from Miles R. from Sioux F. South D.
Yeah, or Riles Moush.
Or Riles Moush. If you did, in those few seconds of exultation, run outside and immediately start Stacy style licking things, we apologize.
And Miles R. apologizes too.
Yes.
And don't believe everything that you read on the internet.
Well, I don't even know. It sounds like he didn't even read it on his internet. It sounded like he read it as if it were a timer that went off.
His Ovaltine timer.
Yeah.
Who knew that thing anymore?
That would be the way, to be honest. I mean, I've seen so many memes and videos of like, this is what it's going to be like when I come out of quarantine. And it'll be like a video of like Chris Farley just like grabbing somebody and throwing them and like wrestling somebody, just like
hands all over
somebody.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think what they should do so here's the thing.
Okay.
A little bit of real talk.
All right.
I think it's going to be kind of a more of a tempered approach. It's going to be slow, and it's not going to be like, everybody partying in the streets all at once because, hey, the quarantine is over. But if they did do that, if they could set off a timer like on all iPhones, just a big,
what if
of the caliber of like the Amber Alerts or something like that,
If we all knew the date and time of when it would be over,
wouldn't that be great?
Wouldn't that just ease our minds a
you
little
know what
bit?
there will be? I bet there will actually be a commemorative celebration. I bet there will be
things. So?
Oh yeah,
like every year.
I mean, maybe not every year, but I could see
annual.
there being like timed commemorative celebrations that'll be like a time where we celebrate physically being close to other people.
Yeah.
In just remembrance of what we couldn't do for like
akin to like Valentine's Day.
I don't even know.
What if out of this the president declares another holiday?
Oh.
Like for healthcare workers.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not very good at remembering other holidays. But yeah, if it was
Luke
one
doesn't do holidays.
I don't do holidays real well.
Actually, that's kind of true.
Yeah, if it's not Thanksgiving, it's not really on my radar. So yeah, I mean, a holiday where you could just basically celebrate, kind of like a 4th of July. Like, hey, here's the thing though. Like, still, you need to be careful around public gatherings, even when there's nothing going on. So that's the thing. You don't want to like. I was going to say a holiday where you specifically gather in public in close proximity to other
lick
people.
Things.
Yeah.
No,
I think we're talking about Burning Man now, or like Woodstock.
No, that would never happen.
The Fire Fest.
I don't know. Like that's why I think something maybe akin to Valentine's Day that you do something like nice for
Yes.
other people.
Okay, if you have an idea, what should our national holiday be to
Yeah.
commemorate this time? Let us know. And I can only assume that Miles is a little bit like me, and the way we get through things like
Yep.
this is making fun of things.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I appreciate it.
I
Miles.
appreciate the laugh.
Yes. I
Thanks,
appreciate it
Riles
because
Mausch.
I think he legit did that on a run too. So good for him.
Yeah,
A
that's
voicemail on a run. That's a thing.
absolutely.
All right.
Now that's the first time that's ever happened.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
Maybe we don't know.
You know what? And Miles was the first one to declare it over. So, when it is, we can maybe like post his beatboxing "It's Over"
I'll say
celebration
we'll
one
drop
more time.
We'll drop a fat beat behind that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump into our next voicemail.
Okay.
Hi, Deb and Luke. This is Paige calling from California. Just wanted to check in and say that we're doing really well over here. We have 2 small children and then a 3-month-old baby that was born in January. So, I mean, really, my life isn't that much different than it would have been because I have an infant. But it's kind of made better by the fact that my husband is now home because he is a high school teacher. So although he's working from home, he's still home to help. So that's been nice. I did want to tell a funny story. Since we've been, stuck at home, we've kind of been doing things that we don't normally do, like getting out books, doing a little more reading than we usually do, dusting off some old books that we never finished. So my husband did that. He grabbed a copy of this history book that he's been wanting to read for a very long time.
Wow.
And he opened it to the place where he had bookmarked where he finished off. So he opened it up, and the bookmark that he was using turned out to be our marriage license.
Oh.
So I'm not sure when we
What?
ever would have found that thing.
Wow. Good.
It's kind of an important document to just be using casually as a bookmark in a book that you're just going to leave in a stack of books. So
Yeah, that's rather
we thought
fortuitous.
that was pretty funny. But something else that I've been doing in the afternoons that's new is having afternoon tea. I'm a big coffee person, but I wanted to start a little ritual in the afternoons as a pick-me-up. So I've been having some tea in the afternoon. So hope you guys are healthy and well. We love you, and we miss you. Bye.
Oh,
Oh, thanks, Paige.
yes. Thank you.
From California.
Thank you, Pahina.
Yeah. Yes. What a story. What did you say that was
Marriage
a little...
license. Well, it's very fortuitous because I think there's definitely things coming up right now, like the whole gold star on your license thing.
Oh, right.
Like there's a lot of stuff around IDs now that really you do need that marriage license. It's a huge headache to go get it to get an official marriage license otherwise.
Who knows when you'll need that again
That's
for,
right.
I mean, you need it.
Yes, that's important. So I want to know what his thinking was to begin with, to be like, what's a good bookmark? Oh, here's our marriage certificate.
He probably thought, I'll be reading this again very soon. I'll
Really?
come back to this.
I can't think of anything. It would be like, I can't think of any reason I would take our marriage certificate out of whatever the hermetically sealed envelope that we have
it must
in.
have just been laying around. So
That's
the
what
real
I'm
problem
wondering.
is, why was it just laying
Where's that
around?
marriage certificate just laying around? I'm not judging. I'm just curious.
Yeah. I've also wondered what it's like for people with newborns right now. So Kristen gave us a little bit of a insight to that, and it's good to hear from Paige too.
So it sounds like as long as you can get all the things you need, it's not the worst thing, because you are kind of buckled down when you've got an infant anyway.
You're home anyway, and they're not closing down doctors' offices, so you can still go in
For the most part,
and get that stuff done. Thanks, Paige.
Yes. All right. So just jump into our next voicemail.
Okay, next one.
Hey, Deb and Luke. This is your sis, Liz. I was just calling to sort of give you an update on myself. You had asked if we had anything to share regarding our lives since the coronavirus entered the picture. And I thought my thoughts and feelings would best be expressed by reading some of my diary entries from the last month. So I'm going to do that, and
nice.
You can come along with me on the journey.
Nice.
Tuesday, March 10th, 2020. Dear Diary, Today, I picked out the best St. Patrick's outfit.
Oh.
You know I like to call it Green Day. I have a green shirt and a nice green scarf to wear along with it. I can't wait. Spring break is just 8 school days away. I am so ready for a break. Maybe I'll take the boys to Iowa. Friday, March 13th, 2020.
Oh, no.
Wow. Schools around the country are closing because of the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, I'm supposed to be a supervisor at the high school musical. They're doing Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
I'm glad I still get to do that, despite the fact that they are limiting the audience size. Some parents may not get to come. At least I'll be backstage. We heard that
Liz
our
can
last
go.
day will be Wednesday, March 18th. Phew, at least I'll still get to wear my St. Patrick's Day outfit. Monday, March 16th. Wow, many students didn't even come to school today.
Oh.
By noon, we knew this would be our last day of school, and we sent our
no.
kids home with everything from their lockers and cubbies,
Oh, wow.
and they were loaded down like it was the last day of school.
Wow.
I don't know if I'll get to see these kids again. Tuesday, March 17th. Today was our last day for teachers and staff. We had to go in to pack bags to send home to kids with their books and materials for a couple of weeks of at-home learning. Some teachers are saying we won't be coming back to school for the rest of the year, but others don't think that's true. Anyway, so life before the quarantine was basically me as a para-educator, teacher's aide in the high school. And I would, every day I would take the 4 boys to school with me. They would go to the elementary. I'd go to the high school. It's just one big building. And our days would start at 5:30 in the morning for me, 6:40 in the morning for them. And we'd get to school by 7:30, and
I can't
we'd
do
leave at 4 o'clock. And I also had another job at a funeral home, and I'm a funeral assistant. All funerals are canceled. We can do outdoor graveside services, but those have to be limited in crowd as well. But, however, as a para, since we've now started doing remote learning, so virtual school is required for all students, and with that comes the fact that some of our students still need help with their schoolwork. So I am helping around 9 high school students with their work. I spend about 4 hours each day calling kids and documenting what I've done with them, and preparing material and modifying material, doing all of that from home and over the computer. I just feel like my life has been overtaken by the computer. And and then in the morning, so I do that from noon to 4 or sometimes later. And then in the morning, every day, I'm helping my 4 boys with school. So my 4 boys are in 5th, 3rd, kindergarten, and preschool. So I just feel like my whole life is school now, and it can get kind of overwhelming. Those the weekends are really important now, just to kind of step away, because when work becomes home and home becomes work, you just gotta make that separation even more important. Andy, my husband Andy, he is an electrician, and when they eliminated all non-essential jobs in Wisconsin, he was still considered essential. And it's funny, he said the most common thing that people say to him now is stay healthy, like, and see you later, or have a good day, nice to see you. Everyone's just like, stay healthy. One time I was watching a video with my kindergartner about going to the bank. They were talking about banks, and there was a group of children going into the bank lobby, shaking hands with the bank director. And I said to the boys, okay, boys, that was back whenever we could go into banks. and we actually shook people's hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. And that was a little funny moment we had. But it's funny how you just notice those things. It's like, what are they hugging for? Like every time you see hugging or like sitcoms that were recorded before all of this, where they're all sitting around in a group, and you just kind of think, what are they doing? Like, it's just fun. But we're, just hoping and praying that everything is back to normal in the right timing, and that everyone's doing well. I hope this didn't go too long. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Liz.
Yes, thank you, Liz. Yeah, that's a crazy thing I haven't really thought about, but it is the sort of thing you imagine, like we said, there'll probably be long-term ramifications. And it might be, just the amount of public affection you show people might dramatically change.
Yeah.
And for some people, for me, that's not particularly hard because most of my affection's always familial anyway.
Yeah.
But there are going to be people out there, this is going to be really... Like, this is a life changer for them. If you think about, like, what if it's like, hey, it'd be best if there's no vaccination yet, they might say, hey, it's best if we just don't have skin-to-skin contact with anybody who's not a immediate family. And, like, that could go on for...
Yeah, like, when does that end?
Right.
Will we ever be a handshaking society again? Like, that might seem extreme, but I don't know.
There had already been kind of a push away from that. I think during the Obama's presidency, there was kind of a push towards the fist bump just because it spreads less germs. And I think even now it's going away from a fist bump to elbow bumps.
Elbow bumps.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will probably always feel awkward doing the elbow bump.
Fist bumps are awkward for a long time. And for some people, they still are.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that will just be interesting to see how that plays out. Thanks, Liz, for speaking about also, Andy's job being, I mean, Luke has been there, still going to work most days, but you've been working from home a lot more.
Yes, thankfully, yeah. Yeah, with IT work, at the beginning, it was crazy, just this idea of everybody was switching to work from home, and part of my position is helping people work from home, so I found myself very busy. Now people are finally settling in 3 weeks into it, a month into it, and so I'm able to now do a little bit of working from home, which has been nice.
Yeah, it has. It makes us feel a little bit better knowing that you're not coming into contact with so many people.
I was coming into contact with a lot of people early on.
Yeah, touching their computers and all that stuff.
Yep.
And Liz was also talking about how she's having to help students during this time. And I'll just say, like my life is different right now too because of, getting packets ready for kids and making sure that they have what they need to be able to keep doing some schooling during this time. And, Liz, I think she mentioned that where she's at, that schooling is required right now. Where we are, it's not required. It's completely, voluntary and optional, which makes my job a little bit easier. I don't have to try to grade anything or keep kids on task, but, just continue to offer different things and put stuff out there for them to stay socially and also just educationally connected. But thanks for sharing that, Liz. It's a lot of interesting things about just raising kids during this time.
Okay, on to our next voicemail here.
Let's go.
Hi, Luke and Deb. It's Kristen. I guess I get to say friend of the show. Do I dare? But it's Kristen, and I know I was just on the show, but I have an update, a quarantine update. I have now baked 3 times. I made vegan chocolate chip cookies today, and it felt like an accomplishment, and they tasted delicious. And let's see what else that we didn't get to talk. Oh, I made another food discovery that I'd love to share with you, and maybe your listeners would like it too. It's a popcorn add-in. It's simple but delicious. Mini marshmallows. Tried it and loved it. And boy, food has been kind of a thing. We've been doing a lot of stuff trying to support people, but we don't want to get too carried away with that. So then you got to try and cook and stay on top of the shopping. It's wild, but we're still hanging in there, doing well. Got little baby girl. Hey, baby, do you want to say anything? She's been very squealy these days, but maybe not right now. Maybe she's nervous. But someday she can come on the show.
Someday.
But thanks for checking in with all your friends, Luke and Deb, and looking forward to hearing the episode. You guys take care. Keep in touch. Bye.
Aw, baby girl's first appearance on the
That's
on
right.
the show.
I heard
That's
her in
fun.
the background. She talked
I
a little.
did. I heard her.
So I will say, when she said a popcorn add-in,
You were very excited.
I immediately stopped. It wasn't about joking.
Yeah,
The show stopped
right.
being about jokes, good times. It stopped being about the quarantine, honestly, for a second there. And I'm like, hold the phone. A popcorn add-in.
This is a
an
dream
add-in
come
to
true.
an add-in to my favorite snack.
Yeah.
And my hopes were dashed
I know.
on the rocks as soon as she said marshmallows, because I don't like sweet popcorn.
Nothing sweet.
I mean, it kind of ruins it for me. The other day, the kids had thrown mini chocolate chips or something like that into, and I grabbed.
I let them have the last of my I just call them my clean chocolate chips.
Sure. But yeah, so they had thrown some in, and just a fraction of a piece of chocolate had gotten on my popcorn, and I was expecting some salty, buttery, beautiful popcorn, and instead it was tainted by this, malicious sweetness.
Oh, how dare they?
I know. Anyway, thank you for the idea,
Yes,
Kristen.
and
It's a thought that counts.
And I want to congratulate her on a successful batch of cookies.
Yeah.
Yep. Fun to hear from you again.
Thank you very much, Kristen.
Friend
and
of the
baby.
show.
Friend of the show, Kristen and baby.
And baby.
Yes. All right. Next up.
Hey, darlings. This is Micah and Sarah.
Aww.
I'm Micah too, Sarah.
Sarah. We're just calling in to let you know how we're doing in the quarantine. Have I given myself thanks? Yes. Are we building on a new room for our house? Also, yes. Are we getting a new puppy? Again, yes.
Especially if our kids are listening to this. The answer is no. I don't know where you get that idea.
Are those related to the quarantine?
Yes.
Probably.
Yes, definitely. Am I advising against it? Possibly. Maybe. Yes.
We found out that what we call our daily life, a lot of people call quarantine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those you can look at, and if you haven't had to change that much since quarantine, I think we're in that boat
Right.
with 8 kids and living an hour outside of the main city.
Right.
Yeah.
You're already doing a lot of social distancing by nature,
Yes.
by circumstance, ordering groceries, having them delivered, things like that.
But anyway, we're going to church online. We're sending half of our kids next door to be homeschooled because their school closed.
Yeah, when it started, we haven't changed a lot by nature. Here in Chiang Mai, Thailand, the air going into quarantine was pretty bad due to some burning, and so we already stayed home. We have a couple of kids that are at risk, as some of you may know, and so we were already trying to limit our trips out just for the sake of them. So when quarantine happened, we were already kind of pulling back a little bit. So I think at this point we're kind of in finishing up maybe month 2 of kind of being isolated anyway. I would say that we've gone outside the property maybe 3 or 4 times in that 2-month period.
Some of our kids not at all.
Yeah,
Right.
once maybe within that.
Anyway, so thanks for having us check in. Hope you're doing well.
Oh yeah, also for you guys that are in America and fighting the toilet paper shortage, being in Thailand, which I think is reflective of a lot of Asia, we don't really have that issue. We were fully stocked on all the aisles in stores when we went. So great advantage to not having a high demand for that product, I guess, here. But yeah, we're doing well in the quarantine. A lot of life is actually a bit simpler. Because we're not going to doctor's appointments and toting around our family of 10 nearly as much. A little cabin fever, but try to stay outside as much as we can. Hope you guys are doing well, and hope you can edit this enough so that our rambling makes a little bit more sense. Miss you guys, and hope all is well, and we'll see you on the other side of the plague.
Bye.
Aw. Thanks, Micah and Sarah.
Yeah. It was interesting because I know that they had reached out to us right after the day after they left the voicemail and said, "Oh, by the way, we had an infestation happen." Did you see that?
Yeah. So they did. You can find those pictures on Facebook. They had an infestation of termites.
Yeah, some sort of flying
I was like,
termite.
does that happen every year? I should have asked.
They said the termites are back, which makes me think that maybe I can't even imagine that many bugs.
I think there was one picture of just termite wings, like covering their porch or deck or something. That's cool. So that happened. We'll just add that. We'll sneak that in there. But really interesting. I just thought it would be. I'm glad they called in because I thought it would be interesting to hear what all this is like in Thailand.
So part of me was wondering. I wonder if the toilet paper is not as much of an issue because they maybe don't use it as much.
That's what I wondered.
I don't know. I'm trying to. I mean, I can't think because I know that in Japan they use bidets. I don't know if there's other Asian countries that use bidets.
So I don't know much about that.
Yeah, I also don't know about that. Or if it's just maybe just culturally they just use less paper products.
Yeah, or do they use like cloth or
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Instead of toilet paper.
Yeah.
And just wash it
right.
like a reusable diaper or something,
I think that's what a lot of people
I don't know.
do.
So that's the question that I'm left with, but we can guess at why that is. And a new puppy.
Oh, dear. Deb, you've brought that up and I have shot that down.
I know.
Much like Old Yeller. I said a puppy would be only okay for the months we've been in this quarantine. As soon as it's done and we want to like do anything that's outside of the house, you guys would just be it would just be a nuisance.
I think it would be like a forever joy. But also I don't know that I really want to mess with it. They're so cute. And Mike and Sarah, I just really want to know what you end up naming this dog. I'm just having like flashbacks of Gev. That's all I have to say.
As I will say, as the person who almost exclusively changes litter in our house, we don't need another pet.
Okay.
Our pets are doing just fine at being pets. They're doing their part.
Yeah. So that means we don't need a dog.
We don't need a dog.
Okay.
All right, Deb, we are quite a ways into things here, but we are to our last email of this episode. So
voicemail?
Oh, sorry. We are to our last voicemail of this episode. So if you didn't get a chance to leave a message, feel free, like we said, leave a voicemail. If we have any more in the future, don't feel like you've missed the boat.
Oh, yeah. We can always do another.
Feel free to throw your M&M CD into this time capsule. I don't know, what would you put in a time capsule? I was just thinking about that.
Oh, like
and
the
mine would
rapper
not,
M&M?
mine would not be an M&M CD. Oh, yeah, you can think about the candy M&Ms.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Take this opportunity to throw your Britney Spears CD into this time capsule.
Okay, mine would probably be like NSYNC, No Strings Attached.
Mine would maybe be one of those Looney Tunes shirts where they're all dressed like gangsters.
Oh, yeah, it probably would.
Okay.
Gross.
Yeah. All right. Here we are to our last voicemail.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Rick On. And this is what I've been doing since the virus hit and things have been closed down. I've been doing well, but missing my friends at the YMCA where I work about 30 hours a week.
Wow.
As one of the oldest lifeguards in the state of Iowa.
Wow.
Good for you.
We had something pretty funny happen in our neighborhood the other day. Two people dressed up like dinosaurs strolled down the street waving at everyone on the street in our neighborhood. Then I did something a little different during this time period. For the first time in about 20 years, I shaved off my mustache about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, my.
I felt naked without it.
Yeah.
Nancy took pictures.
Oh, no.
I didn't
It has
see
grown
that.
back.
Oh, wow.
Wow. We'll have to see those pictures. I can't believe that.
I'm doing really well. I am in my routine, which I usually have, except of all my morning activities and what I do in the afternoon, except now in the morning, Rick is walking with me. There's a lot more talking at our house because Rick is home. Something that I'm doing differently, I have Invisaligners in to correct the scope that was holding back and really bothering me. So I've been doing it since January. There's 14 trays, and I'm on tray 12. So when you see me next time, I will have straight front seats.
Wow.
And also wanted to tell you I have cleaned the junk drawer.
Before I give the trivia question, don't worry, grandchildren. My mustache has grown back.
Okay. Yeah.
Here's our trivia question.
Okay.
What two famous Iowa athletes
Oh, no.
from different towns played American Legion baseball
Dear.
at the same time on the same team?
Whoa.
Both later earned Hall of Fame status. What are their names and where are they from?
What are their names and where are they from?
Bye-bye.
Bye, Rick.
That's silly.
Oh,
Rick was
yes.
so silly.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, I
That
love
was-
that.
yeah.
Was my mom and
Yeah.
Rick.
Yes.
Aw.
That's really nice.
That was great to hear from them. I did put the call out to everybody in my family. So thanks.
Yeah,
I was
totally.
hoping that Mom and Rick would call in and answer because we haven't been able to hear from them yet on the podcast. So.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, I was in shock to hear about the shaved mustache.
Oh, me too.
I've never, ever seen him without a
I
mustache.
have. I know that he has shaved it off at least one other time, and but yeah, the kids know him by that.
It would be like he literally signs cards with a face with a mustache.
Yeah,
The mustache is the predominant
I'm glad
feature.
it's grown back.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, and Mom said that she's got Invisalign.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was something she was wanting to do. So that is fun. We learned new things tonight. That was really fun.
It is a good time. I mean, I was kind of wondering, we've kind of had a little bit of just like you don't see people, you don't have a lot of normal daily. And so part of me is like wondering, when you step out the door, there's probably going to be like, I think there's going to be like kids who you're going to be like, wow, did you grow? You think about like, you know, for a lot of these kids won't see each other all summer, you know, maybe depending on what situation goes on.
Next time they see each other, maybe in
the
August
fall.
or
And
September.
you just think like how much your friends changed in 6 months. Like that's
I thought that
crazy.
too, Luke. I thought next time we see some kids, we're gonna think they grew up so much.
But along those lines is like, if there's something you wanted to like change that, like maybe you're like, oh, I'm not a huge fan of like wearing these or doing this at the time, but you're like, but in the long term, I would like to do that. Like now would be a great time.
It is. It's like a clean slate. I've thought about dyeing my hair.
Oh, what would you dye it?
I've thought about blonde, but then I've also thought about just a darker brown.
Okay.
So I haven't decided yet, but I might just do that. The only thing that's kind of stopping me from doing it is because I still check in with my class on Zoom meetings like twice a week.
Yeah.
And so I might just wait until like
That's all
June
done,
1st when I don't have to do Zoom meetings anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So get ready for
and
that.
And also to do a salon. You'd have to find a salon that's
No,
open.
I would do it on my own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's brave.
I know, yeah. I would try it.
I've also bleached my hair.
Yes, you have.
On my own.
Yeah.
Well, back when it was the time, as was the fashion at the time.
Yeah.
The old frosted tips.
I have to say, this trivia question.
Oh, gosh.
Can we just like restate what it was? So 2 Iowa high school baseball players. Oh, they are gonna be so disappointed.
I mean, I
me.
have no idea.
Me neither.
So 2 Iowa high school athletes who then played
American Legion baseball.
Okay.
At the same time, but they're from 2 different towns. At the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, at the same time on the same team, and they both achieved Hall of Fame status.
Right. If you know the answer to this question,
help us out.
Oh man, I don't even. I remember there was one time we went to a game, minor league game, and on the way there we did some baseball trivia.
Oh yeah, it was just you and my brothers and Rick.
And it was not good. I think all of my answers
Luke did not have a strong showing.
No, all of my answers came from Roger Clemens baseball for the NES. for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I had to just keep referencing back to player names that would appear on screen because I don't think I'd ever watched an entire baseball game ever.
Yeah.
I played but never watched. So.
Oh, funny. No, I don't even. Okay, so the first name that came to mind was Jeff Clement.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Because, looks like I didn't even think of him.
That's the only name I could think of. Yeah.
Oh, okay, you did think of him. So, but yeah, I don't think he's achieved Hall of Fame status. And yeah.
So this trivia is being put out to you, our audience.
Yeah.
Feel free if you have any ideas. That oh boy, could we use some help?
Yeah. We really could. And I'm sorry, Mom and Rick. That was a really good question.
That was a really good question.
Thank you.
All right, sports fans of the world,
to be asked of someone else who knows a little bit more.
Those of you starving for baseball right now,
Yeah.
a perfect time for you to dig into Iowa baseball history and find the answer to this.
Yeah.
Let us know what it is.
Give it a go.
I'd love to know and pretend that I actually knew. Again, thank you very much, Rick and Nancy,
Yeah,
for calling
thanks,
in.
Mom and
Really
Rick.
nice. All right. Well, we have come to the end of our voicemails for this episode.
That was fun. Thanks to everyone for calling in and just letting us know what you're doing, for adding your voices to the collection of voices. And yeah, just fun to commemorate.
Yep. And we'll take this, we'll package it together, throw some tunes with it, and then we'll put it out into the world for us to have available.
Our time capsule.
That's our time capsule of 2020. So. Okay, well, if you ever want to get a hold of us, just like the voicemails today, just like we've said so many times this episode, give us a call at our voicemail, 61AIR0V. And if you ever want to catch up, hey, maybe this is a time to go back and listen to old My Darlings Distractions episodes.
Sure.
You can do that through any podcast player of your choice. You can do that through Spotify. Or if you want to go back and just listen to them right off of our website, just go to mydarlingsdistractions.net. We don't get paid. In fact, we pay to do it. So we do just want to do it. So if you get some enjoyment out of it, listen to it. If not, well, that's okay with us too.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. So
thanks for listening, everyone. It's been fun to talk to you. This is Deb.
And this is Luke.
Good night.
Bye.
You may think that I'm talking foolish. You've heard that I'm wild and I'm free. You may wonder how I can promise you now this love that I feel for you always will be. But you're not just time that I'm killing. I'm no longer one of those guys. As sure as I live, this love that I give is gonna be yours until the day that I die.